Hello and welcome. I am Sarah Schweppe. I'm an essence coach who supports divorced women who are ready to create the lifelong, soul-nourishing relationship that they dream of. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about ghosting, being ghosted, maybe you're the ghoster, and just offer, a different frame for this. I have had the experience of being ghosted in my past, and I remember feeling so powerless and infuriated, and also I would just feel kind of crazy because I really just wanted a response, and I didn't like the way that I felt. I didn't have a great understanding for what was happening for me until I learned about power dynamics from Dr. Julie Colwell and the Evolutionary Power Institute. She's really contributed some unique, powerful work to the field in terms of relationship and power. So, and this is just kind of what I'm taking from that and applying it to ghosting. But in relationship, when we go below the line, I'm going to show you the Intermap. I keep talking about it and then I don't show it. Okay, here's the Intermap. Ooh, it's a little blurry. Anyways, here's the Intermap. This was created by Julie based off of David Hawkins' map of consciousness. It's an energetic scale of our emotions. And so basically anything below the line is reactive brain, everything above the line is creative brain. These are the negative emotional states. These are the positive emotional states. We all have all of them. This is for survival. We're wired for this. It just goes haywire when we're in relationship because it's an unconscious threat response, right? So it's great to get out of the way of the moving vehicle or to run away from the tiger. But when our partner gives us a look or we get ghosted or whatever thing, it's not so great because it's not threatening our survival, but we're experiencing it like it is. Creative brain is where we experience love and connection and our innate wholeness, right? We have all our answers. Our intuition is up here from creative brain. We don't have to work to create this. We're born with this. We come in with this. Our reactive brain covers this throughout our life because all this negative energy gets stuck if it's not moved through. So we kind of forget who we really are until we get some tools and start to see, oh, that's just my reactive brain. It's not who I really am. So the other thing I want to say in terms of ghosting is where ghosting comes from down here. My essence and soul is not ghosting others or worrying about being ghosted. Everything's kind of perfect. All is well up here. But down here we have power struggle. Pride and anger, we've got power over, even some agitated fear, and then down here we've got power under. So we all have these built in. It's a part of hierarchy. We can see it in animals, like think about dogs in the dog park where one dog is dominating, the other one's submitting. As mammals, we know how to find our place, and it's good because it keeps us alive. I need somebody on 9/11 to tell me where to go and for me to just listen. It just also is not so great in relationship because it's all within a paradigm of control. So neither one of these is worse than the other. They just are. Power over is where we're trying to gain control by more exertion of force. It's more overtly controlling. So you think about like the hero is really trying to get the alcoholic to stop drinking, and the villain is maybe using nasty words to get what they want. The victim, however, uses more subtle forms of control. The victim, the power under, is controlling by withdrawal. So I've had experience with both of these positions in relationship. I can say when I'm in the more prideful power over place, especially in my hero, because I get like that helper's high, it doesn't feel nearly as bad as power down to me. Although over time, I get exhausted, it's tiring because it's all in this reactive state where we're adrenalized and we've got cortisol and norepinephrine and all those chemicals kind of pumping through us. We're not in a rest and digest response. We're in an activated threat response. Power down often lives in shame, despair, guilt, shame, those 3 levels of consciousness. and it's very collapsed. We often see this is where depression lives. I don't know why. I think it's partially part of our mammalian chemicals, or I don't know what, but I feel shitty when I'm power down. I'm collapsing all my anger energy, all my big energy in the face of the big threat, right? Like, oh, I'm going to just do what I need to do. Lose myself, placate, not say what I want, not even access what I want because I don't want to lose you or you're the big powerful person for whatever reason, which can work in a way because we then land in hierarchy and we know our place and we kind of do this dance until it doesn't, until something happens, because we all have to have a self, especially for power down. When I'm just getting so small that I'm just kind of disappearing, one really big sign that I'm in power down is when I start to fantasize leaving and running away and like going to the mountains and having my own place and I don't know, being the old witch in the woods. It's like the desire to get away is often a sign that I'm power down, because we have to have a self. And so if I can't have myself, or I'm not allowing me to have a self in the presence of you, it's too threatening that if I have a big feeling, you might have a big feeling. And so I've unconsciously decided to keep you out of your big feelings by adjusting who I am. I have to have a self. So hence the pull away. Another way to have a self in power down, we often see addiction here. We might see affairs here. There's all different ways to like pull out from underneath the oppression of power over. And again, I hear myself saying that, and it's a dance. We're both doing it because the trade-off is from power down, I'm getting safety and protection, and I'm benefiting from that. I don't have to like risk feeling my big feelings and really being big in the world. So it's a dance, right? I don't think there's any victims here, even though somebody is landing in what looks like the victim position. Power over is gaining the ability to not feel their fear, right? So they can look outside themselves, they can focus on this other person, and they don't have to feel their feelings inside. So it's different side of the same coin. Both people are not feeling their feelings. So I share all of that because pulling away is a power move. Ghosting is a power move. And it works a lot of the time, because are you having really big feelings when you get ghosted? When somebody doesn't respond to you? Are you like kind of wanting to come in and like get them and get this thing from them? Why won't you respond to me? Or maybe you feel so shitty, like you're crying and you're in a collapse. Where are they? It's like ghosting is a power move. And I see it as a way to try and gain control when maybe we're feeling out of control, or maybe we're having such big feelings we don't know what to do with them. Sometimes people might know that they're doing it. Other times it might just be they're in a big threat response and they're trying to cope in the best way that they can. So if you're being ghosted, I wonder what's happening in your body. What is coming up for you when that's happening? I get it's frustrating, but nobody can cause us to feel any way. Nobody's responsible for my feelings. So instead of letting your mind run amok with you need something from them to feel better, you need that response, what if you went into your own body and noticed what feelings you're having? My guess is there is old energy in your body from way back when that's trying to work its way through you from this present day situation. And I would even venture to say that unconsciously you might even be requiring it. Now, I know I always feel a little scared when I say that, because this isn't about blame. It's not about blaming yourself or the other person or blaming the victim in any way. It's about empowerment. Because for me, when I can see that I'm actually requiring a situation that I'm consciously complaining about, I'm back in the driver's seat. So how do we know what we require in relationship? it's what we complain the most about. So I might require, and this has happened in the past, require somebody ghosting me because I was not willing to sit with my feelings that were coming up as a response to all the big life changes I was having. So I kept generating, reaching out to a person who probably wasn't going to respond. I knew that. But then it was a distraction. It took me outside of myself, and I could then focus over here. And even though it was miserable, I still wasn't having to face into my own stuff. So it served me. I got to be distracted, and I got to avoid all the stuff that I wasn't feeling for all the years of my life, despite having a ton of therapy and not doing all the inner work. So I wonder if there's somehow getting ghosted is benefiting you. What's really cool when we work with unconscious commitments and these kind of unconscious requirements is that when we go in and see, oh, I require ghosting because it reminds me of da 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 da, and I get to not feel whatever feelings, then I can find the feelings and then I can choose to move them through. And when I move those feelings through, because I think we're constantly broadcasting, right? We're constantly broadcasting an energy. I think this is like the raise your vibration and we create from our state. It's like if I'm walking around broadcasting negative unconscious energy, I'm attracting in the opposite side of that versus if I'm walking around in an above the line state and I'm in appreciation and love and joy, I'm attracting that. So it's really cool, our unconscious in that way. How does that happen that we find the perfect people that are going to take us right to the places where we're still stuck? If we choose to be conscious. If we're unconscious, we're like, oh, hey, person who has this opposite entanglement of me, and I'm going to enter this relationship and be in this relationship, and I'm going to blame you and externalize everything over here and live in projection versus saying, oh, my feelings are at me. This is just pointing to me. When I shift and I get above the line, I then get to choose, do I want this relationship? The other person might shift. I mean, that's the cool thing about how we shape our reality. I think that my external world is reflecting what's happening on the inside. So it's like those situations that we don't want can start to just disappear or shift. Or, maybe the person shows up differently because we're no longer requiring it. Maybe they're doing their own work and they're clearing their stuff out, and then these entanglements just kind of dissolve. So in a way, ghosting is a really great opportunity because you keep recreating this situation and somebody's pulling away and you're having big feelings. To me, it's like, well, there's all the energy. That's the shit that's keeping you out of what you really want to create in life. And to remember that it's all that stuff is below the line is power moves, right? So if somebody, I love power down in this way because they can run away. And I don't really know how you trump that. I mean, you don't get connection and you don't get aliveness, you don't get integrity. But from the conflict standpoint, it's like, what's more powerful than that? Retreating and withdrawal. So just to remember that it's a power move and you can choose to drop the rope. You don't have to power down. You don't have to power over. Dropping the rope means having your feelings, removing this person from any responsibility for your feelings, shifting up into your essence, and then wondering, what do you really want from there? Maybe you don't really want to hear back from the person. Maybe you just want to feel safe and supported and happy. So getting to the bottom line of what you really want, if that person responded to you, what would you get? Because I bet you could create that for yourself. All right, folks, that's everything for today. I'd love to hear what you think and how this lands with you. Send me a note and have a wonderful day. Bye.